Have you ever sat down to create and you've got your coffee or your tea, journal is open, and you just stare at your stuff, stare at your supplies. You want to make something, but you don't know where to start. So you shuffle through your papers, pull things out, put things back, and half of your creative time is gone before you've glued a single thing down. So that's not a lack of ideas, that's doubt, getting there first. In this video, I'm going to give you 3 habits that get you making before that doubt has a chance to kick in, whether you have 10 minutes or you have a full afternoon. So these are habits that I use myself, and one of them is something I actually walk through with my membership every month because it's made a real difference in how people create. Let's start with the first habit. Build a go-to kit. If you sit down to your whole stash of supplies, your brain has too many choices to make before you even start. That's decision fatigue, and it's the first thing killing your creative time. So, think of this kit like a capsule wardrobe, but for collage. Instead of your whole closet, you grab one small container where everything already goes together. A couple of months ago, I posted a whole video on how I used a lunchbox as a toolkit where you gather materials like washi tape. I have a ruler for tearing paper, glue stick, of course, stickers, postage stamps, a bunch of little bits of ephemera, and something to collage in, which is going to be my little junk journal glue book. So you take your lunchbox or whatever kind of toolkit that you have, and you take it to a different part of your home. You can go onto your patio or your porch or just anywhere where it's comfortable and create something. And then with this experience of using the things in your kit, you can see what's missing and then add that in so that the next time you go and repeat this process, you have a really complete set. So one of the most important things in your kit is going to be the actual substrate, the thing that you are putting your art in. In my case, since I do collage, I have this little junk journal that I made. Very, very simple. It's a one signature junk journal, just tied in like this. If you wanted to do something with index cards, you could. Here's something, for example, I punched holes and have this little ring. So this is also a very simple idea. You could do little things like ATCs or other small art as well. That way, when it's time to create, you're not stopping to figure out where something goes. That decision is already made. You can build one of these in 10 minutes and reuse it until you're ready to swap it out. A kit solves what to use, but even with the right supplies in front of you, you can still freeze on what to actually make. That's the next issue. Habit number 2, use a timer and a prompt. Habit 2 is about getting past that feeling, where do I even start? Even with a kit ready, an open page with no direction can feel just as paralyzing as a full supply stash. So here's something you can do to help you get that focus. Give yourself 2 limits, a content limit and a time limit. First, make your quick decision. Where is this going? Is it going on a blank index card? Is it going in your journal, in your glue book? Whatever. 10 seconds, done. Now you're not stopping midway through your project trying to figure out where to put it. If you already have it in your kit, then it's just sitting there waiting for you. If not, then you could go grab something now. Next, pick your content. In this example today, I'm suggesting a prompt. A prompt works because it takes the decision off your plate. Instead of staring at a blank page, wondering what to make, you're just following an instruction. And that's a much smaller ask for your brain than make something good. So a few years ago, I made a set of 50 prompt tickets for exactly this kind of exercise. Each one just names a single thing to use, like a paint chip or a postage stamp or something shiny. If you'd like a set, I'll put the link for the free printable in the description. You can cut them out and put them in a little tin like this, or put them in a little envelope so that you can just randomly pull one out and have it. Whatever works best for you. Now that you know what you're making, there's one more reason why this works. A time limit gives your brain a boundary. Without one, you can keep adjusting and second guessing forever. But with one, you stop trying to just make something good and instead let yourself play. So set a timer for 10 minutes. Tell yourself you don't have to finish anything, you just have to start something. No overthinking, you just follow the prompt and start gluing. So I put these prompts together a couple of years ago, and I love them for a bunch of reasons. As I mentioned, it takes the thought process away of having to choose what to do. It just gives you a goal. But one of the cool things about it is that once you do a bunch of these, you can see your progress. You can see how you get more confident with creating. And when you put them all together, if you've done the same size the entire time, say for example, you've chosen 4x6 postcard size, then you have a whole stack of collages that you have created. Another thing that I did was I did these prompts in a small 3x5 index card. And it's so neat to be able to look through these and to see what I chose and see the composition and how I used rubber stamping or bits of white space or anything, right? And you also get to brainstorm creative ways to store them. I used this recipe tin. You could hole punch them and just put a ring on a bunch of these, or several rings and make a little book out of it. These prompts have been super fun for me as a collage artist, so I hope that you will think about using them too. So if you're already getting lots of ideas, a quick like helps this video reach more people stuck in the same spot. Also consider subscribing if you like this kind of content. Thank you. Now, the last habit is one that actually changes how you think about all of this. A kit and a prompt fix one sitting at a time, but there's a bigger habit that removes the guesswork before you even open your journal. Habit number 3 is work in a monthly theme. So habit 3 is the one that I come back to more than any other. Here's the issue with habits 1 and 2. You're starting from zero every single time you sit down. A kit and a timer and a prompt move you faster once you're there, but a theme means you're not deciding what your art even is over and over again. So when I pick a theme, say for example, hues of blue or green, I go through my things, find what I'm generally looking for, set those things aside in one place, possibly in my kit, and then for the rest of the month, I'm reaching for those things. I'm not really second guessing about what my goal is. A theme can be a subject, it can be a color palette, or it can even be a concept like found words. You don't need to commit forever, just long enough to build some kind of momentum. And you'll start noticing connections between pages that never would have happened if you'd pick a fresh theme every single time. I've got a couple of examples to show you. So this is a notebook. It's called Penmanship Notebook. And here's what the blank pages look like. And so I thought that in this little book, I would make the theme of handwriting. So here is handwriting. And on every single one of my collages, I have samples of handwriting. Maybe they're tiny little samples, maybe they are bigger samples like from letters or notes, but somewhere on my pages are samples of handwriting. In this little glue book, my theme is vintage postal. So I'm choosing things and papers that kind of fit all with a postal theme. I'm also gravitating more towards blues and purples. That was just by chance. And since there are so many postal pieces that have blues in them anyway, that all seems to kind of match also. A kit removes the "what do I use" decision. A timer and a prompt removes the "what do I make" decision. And a theme removes both those decisions before you even sit down. Doubt doesn't get a head start because there's nothing left for it to argue with. So in my membership, we actually work on a theme together every month. The same general idea, but everyone's version turns out completely different. It's a really good way to stay inspired without starting from a blank page. If you're looking for ways to build a more consistent art practice, it might be a good fit for you. Check it out if you're interested. The link is at the very top of the description. But for now, you can pick any one of these 3 habits and try it the next time you sit down. You'll know it worked when you're already gluing something down before you've had the time to second guess it. Let me know in the comments if you already use something like prompts and if you've ever used a time limit on yourself when you create. And if you haven't seen my video where I show you how to build a kit in more detail, check it out right here.